Hi, I'm Aubie Knight. I'm here today with IIANC's lobbyist, Mr. John Bode. John, appreciate you being here.
My pleasure. Always wonderful to be here.
All right, good. We're going to talk about several legislative matters. Let's start off and just kind of give us an update on where we are. I think the legislature is in break this week. What's going on there?
The Senate and the House have taken a 1-week break. They're going to be coming back next Monday. They have until August 15th to resolve their budget. There are a lot of major issues in that budget, maybe further apart than they've been in a long time. So my instinct is it'll take it all the way through August 15th and maybe September 15th or October 15th.
I've heard some joking they may even be here for Christmas.
That would be a huge present.
All right. Well, since crossover day has occurred, things really have slowed down. Obviously, there's not new legislation that's being introduced. Legislation that was introduced right now is just being contemplated or sitting and waiting to be heard in the other house, depending on which house it originated in.
That's right. We have passed, I believe, about 160 bills altogether, which is about half of what we would normally have at this time. So the pace has been much slower, and as we go through working for the budget, it's unlikely that we'll have a lot of committee meetings. So I've got a little bill sitting in House Commerce. The chairs told me maybe late July, maybe early August. We only have 3 bills left, so there's no sense in hurrying.
Right.
Scared me to death.
Well, a couple of items that are of importance to our members. Obviously, I think by this point, everyone has heard about the new requirement. They're calling it mopeds, but insurance requirement on scooters.
Absolutely.
Basically. That has passed and will become effective July of next year.
That's correct. Part of the concern on that bill is that there's not a lot of moped insurance available right now in the state, and the people that use mopeds, many of them are not attuned to the need for insurance. Part of the issue there was how many of them have DWI convictions, and the answer is a very substantial number of them. So we'll see how that turns out. We have that. We have House Bill 182, which is the insurance bill that has consent to rate provision, has the Department of Insurance's requirements that there be 2 hurricane models taken care of, and that bill is essentially sitting in Senate insurance now. It came over from the House. One of the major problems with that piece of legislation is that there's been substantial controversy over the right of the beach plan to issue catastrophe bonds after a storm. The department is concerned that they have jurisdiction over issuing up to $1 billion worth of bonds, and they have nobody in the Department of Insurance that knows anything about issuing bonds. And the Treasurer's Office is somewhat concerned with the legislation because they're not sure that it absolutely covers the issue the way it needs to be. So as we go forward with that bill, House Bill 182, there will either have to be something done to fix that, or I think the Department of Insurance wants it to be a study commission, and then the rest of the bill just go on and pass like it is.
One other item in the bonding provision is also the 10% policy surcharge.
Yes, the 10% policy surcharge is in existing law without any bonding, but if the bonding provision passes, then the funds to repay the bonds will come out of that 10% property insurance surcharge across the state. Now, one of the things that's a little concerning about that, if somebody wanted to avoid the 10% surcharge, all they'd have to do is drop their property insurance.
Right. Not the type of incentive we would like to create.
It's not a good idea.
All right. Another objective that we had this year was to make some improvements to the workers' compensation law. Our bill that we had introduced was one of those bills that did not make crossover. So we're not dealing with our specific bill, but there is the issue of employee misclassification. There's currently a bill, I believe it's House Bill 482, that is addressing some of the employee misclassification issues. We're going to try to get a couple of the provisions from our work comp bill attached to that at a later time. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. That bill is still in the House. It's one of the few bills that has been assigned to 4 committees. It should come out of the House before the end of this session. It'll go over to the Senate. My instinct is that it will sit in the Senate and not be completed this year, but we will have an opportunity to ask our friends in the Senate to take a couple of these provisions that straighten out a couple of things related to misclassification, get those done, particularly the fact that people who could be covered have to have that information in writing with their insurer, and that has to be of record. So we have that. We have something, an issue for the not-for-profit, non-paid execs who right now I think are supposed to get coverage. We're going to try and fix that so they don't have to have coverage.
Right.
So that bill will be either late in this session or something we'll take up next session. I'm suspecting it'll be a 2016 project.
Yeah, sounds like it. That's pretty much the major things that we're currently tracking that are active in the legislature. Is
That is the range of what we're doing. We have it both sides, working both sides, and I think we're in good shape on both sides.
All right. Well, very good. Well, hey, thanks everybody for watching, and stay tuned for more information about IIANC's legislative activities, and have a great day.